A reading from the book of Revelation. I, John, heard a voice saying, "These, my two witnesses, are the two olive trees and the two lamps that stand before the Lord of the world. Fire can come from their mouths and consume their enemies if anyone tries to harm them. And if anybody does try to harm them, he will certainly be killed in this way. They are able to lock up the sky so that it does not rain as long as they are prophesying. They are able to turn water into blood and strike the whole world with any plague as often as they like. When they have completed their witnessing, the beast that comes out of the abyss is going to make war on them, and overcome them and kill them. Their corpses will lie in the main street of the great city known by the symbolic names Sodom and Egypt, in which their Lord was crucified. Men out of every people, race, language, and nation will stare at their corpses for 3.5 days, not letting them be buried. And the people of the world will be glad about it and celebrate the event by giving presents to each other, because these two prophets have been a plague to the people of the world." After the 3.5 days, God breathed life into them, and they stood up, and everybody who saw it happen was terrified. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven say to them, "Come up here." And while their enemies were watching, they went up to heaven in a cloud. The Word of the Lord. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Some Sadducees, those who say that there is no resurrection, approached Jesus, and they put this question to him. "Master, we have it from Moses in writing, that if a man's married brother dies childless, the man must marry the widow to raise up children for his brother. Well then, there were 7 brothers. The first, having married a wife, died childless. The second and then the third married the widow, and the same with all 7. They died, leaving no children. Finally, the woman herself died. Now, at the resurrection, to which of them will she be wife, since she had been married to all 7? Jesus replied, "The children of this world take wives and husbands, but those who are judged worthy of the place in the other world and in the resurrection from the dead do not marry because they can no longer die, for they are the same as the angels, and being children of the resurrections, they are sons of God." And Moses himself implies that the dead rise again, in the passage about the bush, where he calls the Lord the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Now he is God, not of the dead, but of the living, for to him all men are in fact alive. Some scribes then spoke up. "Well put, Master," they said, because they would not dare to ask him any more questions. The Gospel of the Lord.